All right, let's get this started. All right, so I am Coca with the Nosey Newsie, and I am sitting here surrounded. Sorry, if you could maybe not shoot the rats while we're doing the interview. Thank you. I'm sitting here with Fiend and his group of comrades here, and they are currently known, probably my fault, as the Green Armband Gang. But as reports have come out, they are not actually the Green Armband Gang. So I'll give the floor to you, Fiend, to start with. Who are you? What is the name of your group? The actual name of your group, and what are you? What is your mission statement?
Well, my name is Valhalla MC. I don't know, we're just trying to clear out some of the bad people around, the cannibals and whatnot. And usually it ends with people turning on us and trying to fight us, so it doesn't. But it's how all the bad news get out and whatnot.
So the name of your group is Valhalla MC, or is that correct? Gotcha. Okay, got it. So motorcycle gang. Is that something that you brought here when you washed ashore, or is that something you created once you got here?
We were pretty big back home, back in the States, but we just decided we heard what was happening here. We wanted to come check it out and, experience the real freedom. There's no laws or anything.
And how many people in the MC did you bring with you, and then how many have you added since you got here?
Brought with us, I brought about 8 or 9. 8 or 9, and then while we were here, we took a couple. We took about maybe 4 or 5 more.
You have quite the
Give or
army.
take, give or take.
You have quite the army. So those are all active members right now. So about 13 active members.
As of right now, yes.
That is a substantial group. Substantial. Now you say that your mission is to rid the island of cannibalism. Specifically, just cannibalism, or bad people in general.
Cannibalism, and I would say we missed the, how do I say it, morality of how life used to be. When we go to talk to people and stuff, and they just run away and they don't want to speak and whatnot, we teach them a little lesson. That's about it.
A lesson. How so? By taking
They
things from
choose
them.
to just ignore.
Okay.
They choose to ignore and run away, or do whatever, point a gun, anything that's not considered proper, I guess. They don't have manners. They don't show manners. Manners are important.
Have you ever
If
taken?
not, we might.
Go ahead. Have you ever taken anything from somebody who did comply, who did follow the manners of the old world?
No, I would say usually if they comply, we tend to take care of them, give them stuff and whatnot. But I'd say 9 out of 10 times it does not go that way. They usually try to run away because they see the armband, or they aim a gun or anything like that.
So do you feel like there has been an unfair stigmatism been put on the Green Armband itself to where you're not able to do your job?
Unfair, I would say yes, because we're not bad people. We're decent people. We try to help and get past some people, and they'll tell you that. But like I said, most of the time people don't have manners, or they're very disrespectful, or they try to run and whatnot. And it's just like we're just trying to talk, get everyone's story, get everyone's names. That's about it.
So you're trying to bring more positive positivity, positive action to the island. How do you justify your actions then with the police transport and the fugitives Panda, Dr. Jesus, and Whiskey? Obviously, Dr. Jesus had already been executed. Where do you fall on that line? Are you on a line that Panda was being uh, unfairly marked by the police department and deserved to be freed? Or were you more out for the reward?
If I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know much about the prisoners themselves. I was told there would be a large reward for saving them, and if we were to save them, we would get paid 150,000 per prisoner. So we showed up, did what we had to do, try to save them. There was a little accident,
How's the
little
interview
misfire.
going?
Pretty good. It's pretty fun.
Yeah,
And
it's not
so,
supposed to go down how it went down.
yeah, let's dive into that more. What happened? Because I was conscious all the way up until I heard the shots fired down the street, and I lost consciousness. So what happened in that moment when you tried to go up into the bus and Panda and Whiskey were killed? What happened there?
What happened was, well, we had one of our guys, he hit in the truck against a tree or a rock, I believe. Everybody was getting out, roadkill happening, some accidents, whatnot. People started shooting. So me and my lieutenant over here, we went around, waited for everything to calm down, waited about 5 or 6 minutes or so. Once it started driving again, we lit up the driver and the police. The prisoners were inside, and my friend over here thought they were enemies because they had all their stuff on them. They were running around. I told them to sit down. I said, sit down, sit down, sit down. They didn't listen, and he accidentally shot them.
Gotcha. So they were non-compliant, basically, and I can attest that they had been non-compliant basically the entire evening. I know Panda, for one, had tried to escape at least 3 times, almost successfully the one time. So I can understand how there'd be some confusion there, especially in the dark. But it wasn't a complete loss. You missed out on the 150K, but can you tell us what you did come away with after the event?
Well, I'd say a lot more people disliked us. We got a bus and a couple police cars. Sadness because we were trying to really help the people, make some money, whatever. We don't really care about them, but we were trying to protect them. Yeah, accidents happened. We tried to get away with them and give them where they needed to go, but they weren't really listening. Hard to drive a bus when there's people in there running around. Not the best. It's like being at school.
And the result has been that the perception of Valhalla, I'll start saying that since that you've told me that is your guys' name. The perception of Valhalla has turned sour pretty quickly here after these events. There's quite a few people that have turned a sour perception towards you guys. What is your guys' plan to change the perception of the citizens of Trinaris?
I mean, we try to give back. We try to.
Is there a reason that gun is being pointed at me at the moment?
Give back. Try to help people out. Earlier, we met some guy in Rich. We tried to give him some food and whatnot. Hey, dude, chill out. Yeah, I don't know what it's good. But no, we try to help people out. Give them stuff. Like, we gave some guy, there's a black gunter yesterday. And it was some food, some guns and whatnot. Like, we try to help people out as much as we can. But now that we have the stereotype to stay away from us, it's kind of hard to do that.
Yeah, and it seems to be continuing. It's not just my newspaper. There's quite a few people that are having reports now saying that people with green armbands are holding them up. And I know you've talked about this, about how that's necessary. You say that's necessary in order to keep people safe. Is that you have to stop them, use barricades, frisk people, and ensure that they mean no harm to Chernarus. You say that's fake. You say that's fake news. Who said that? Which? Please stand up.
Propaganda.
So you
All
got
hearsay.
So you would say then that you are not using barricades, you are not stopping people, you are not searching people as along their travels? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, we do that. Yes, we do this, but we don't do it in a sense to take their stuff. We just do it to check. We try to talk to them, figure out who they are, who they're affiliated with, and we can keep track. Keep data and whatnot of who's where, who's with who, just for everyone's safety. And a lot of the time, they just open fire or they try to run us over, run through us, and whatnot, which is somewhat understandable. At the same time, we're reasonable people. We're not hurting nobody. And there's a guy in Grishino, I never caught his name because he decided not to tell us for some reason at the police station. But yeah, we were very reasonable with him. I gave him some of my personal food, water, everything. Because he complied, we gave him a bunch of stuff, let him go. But his buddy, on the other hand, started to aim at us, and yeah. But we just tied the dude up, put him in a room, locked it, walked out, gave him a bunch of stuff, and left. I wouldn't say we're terrible people. We do stuff like that all the time.
Gotcha. But you do ride a line. You do ride that moral line between opportunists, wanting that $150,000 cash. Obviously not afraid. You have the numbers, you have the military prowess to take on the police. So you have that. You do ride that line, that moral line between how much good you're doing and how much evil you're doing for the city. Would you say that's a correct statement? It's the guy in the cowboy hat that threw it.
I'll deal with that later. But what was that you said? I'm very sorry.
So I just stated, yeah, with all the information you've given me, what I was stating is that you do ride that line, that moral line between opportunists and trying to make that money. You're obviously not afraid of the police. You have the military prowess, you have the numbers, and you ride that line between how much positive you do for Chernarus and how much evil you do for Chernarus. I guess my question would be, do you lean more positive or do you lean more opportunist for your gang?
I would say I'd probably go more opportunist.
Okay.
We try to do mostly positive things, mostly good things, but like I said, it's hard to do that. I would see us as bad people.
I could assume it's kind of hard to be the leader of 13 men, and not give them opportunities to make a little coin. Would that be a fair statement? Gotcha.
Yes, very much.
I do notice that not everybody has the green armband. My next subject I wanted to lean into is your guys' training. The guy that brought me here, I noticed, was really good on an ATV. Do you guys have levels to your a structure, I guess, a rank structure, recruits, training, all of that stuff? Would you be willing to divulge some of your structure of your group?
Well, I would say we don't have an in-depth rank structure, but I would say I'd be more or less the leader. I'm more of the figure, as you can hear from the radio and whatnot. But my lieutenant over there, he's a little underdressed at the moment. But he didn't understand we were coming to so underdressed. But other than that, I mean, everyone else, we all consider each other pretty equal.
Okay.
I'm just more or less the figurehead for it, the mascot.
Gotcha. I recently did an interview with Marion, the quote-unquote leader of the Communist Collective, and he had a similar statement where I called him the leader, and he immediately said we don't have leaders, but you kind of have to have a leader of any group. And he eventually said, yes, you could call me the figurehead, but everybody's the same. Would you say you lean more communist or capitalist in your endeavors?
I mean, a lot of, like I said, a couple of our guys have a history here in Chenars. Uh, they kind of like, I wouldn't say convinced us more towards communism, but I'd say in this world and how things work now, that makes more sense. But in a normal society, I would not say so. But given how the
Gotcha.
world is now, it makes more sense.
You know, it's fascinating to me as I learn more and more about the people on this island. I haven't been here that long, but as conflicts arise and these groups emerge, in the end, we're all more similar than we are different. And I know, I know there are probably more conflicts in the future between you and groups like the Collective, but it is always fascinating to me to see how similar we all actually are. All trying to gain a foothold on this island. So as we come to the end of the interview here, I wanted to give the floor to you again, give you an opportunity. I always give everybody an opportunity to have a little bit of a monologue and put out any message to any person, group, or just to the public in general. Like I said, we will be, with your permission, we'll be posting this interview. I'll be writing about it in the Monday edition. What message would you like to put out there for people?
I would say, I don't know, give us a shot. Don't just hate us because everyone says they hate us. We haven't even run into that many people. So the fact that all these people despise us and are scared of us is kind of ridiculous.
What does give us
like
a
we're not out here.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I was just saying we're not out here hunting people. We're just out here trying to make sure everyone's doing the right thing and whatnot. Like we have little checkpoints, whatever. But let's say they pull up, they comply. We're not gonna take their stuff. We're gonna let them go. They pull up and they have human meat in the car or in a huge abundance of weapons. It's like, why do you need all this? Who are you? And if they don't comply and answer the questions, things happen.
Well, that's disappointing that I've got the head thing over.
Yeah, I don't know. Got it.
Appreciate that. Okay, so that leads me to one quick question there is, what does give us a chance mean? If I were to roll up to a checkpoint, say hi, let you search my vehicle, and I have just come from an area where I'm doing some collecting, and I'm collecting some supplies, would I be allowed to keep all of my supplies, or is it because I have so many that I now have to give some to you in order to get through the checkpoint?
I would say more or less we leave people alone. We won't take much. Like if you were to do that, obviously because it's you seem like a nice guy. You're not a threat to us. You're not, we would let you go, no problem. Like we're going to after this. But like let's say somebody comes through and they have a bunch of a resource that we need, a weapon, or some nails or some building supplies or whatnot. We might take a thing or two. We won't empty their stuff, but we gotta live too out here.
Is this interview all in text?
No, it's live. Okay, yeah, I guess that answers that question. Yeah, that answers that question of the line where you lean between, the opportunist, right? The Valhalla group has to live too. Valhalla group has to live too. So, you gotta pay for people have to pay for security. Would that be a proper statement to use? That
Uh, yeah. I wouldn't say they have to pay for security, but I mean, we're always there if anybody needs it. Like, it could be anybody. Like the people that the spiders, they could ask us for help. We'll go help them out. We'll go see what we can do. Whatever. Yeah, it doesn't hurt to get a little free weapon or anything every now and then. But we're not out here looking to just take everything. We have plenty. At the
last
end of the day, we gotta feed people and make caps as well.
last question. Um, Seeing similarities between you and the collective, could you ever see yourself having a sit down with the leader of the collective and possibly eventually working together at some point?
I could see that. I mean, I haven't talked to him much. When we first came around, we bought some tools off of them and whatnot. They seemed like reasonable people. Second time around, they weren't very nice, I would say. I mean, they had a bit of attitude problem, and I don't really remember where things went wrong. But we would be willing to sit down and have a conversation.
Excellent, excellent. I will work on that opportunity, if you don't mind, and I would love at some point to do a double interview between you and the leader of the collective. That sounds like a fascinating interview.
Yeah, I think we would enjoy that. I think that'd be a good thing. A good thing for everybody around here. Clear up some of the.
Clear the air a little bit. Awesome. Well, that concludes my interview. I have my notes. Do I have permission to air this interview over Chinar's airwaves for people to see?
Oh, of course, of course.
Awesome. And I'll be posting Monday morning, first Monday edition in the newspaper, as well as the exclusive interview with what is officially Valhalla MC, not the Green Armband Gang. So thank you so much for this opportunity, Fiend, and to the rest of you fine gentlemen throwing bandages and stuff at my face. It's been fun, especially the guy in the cowboy hat that's been giving me slicing throat sign. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're ready to get out of here, man. I'm sorry.